Martin Freeman, such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the movie.
Thanks a lot.
It must have been, I mean, I can't imagine a more perfectly cast Bilbo than you.
Oh, thank you.
It must have been quite a compliment for you then that Peter Jackson was actually losing sleep at the thought of not getting you in the role.
Yeah, I mean, all that came as a real surprise to hear that stuff much later. But yeah, you know, my agent got a call that Peter had rearranged the filming so I could do both The Hobbit and Sherlock, and that's a massive compliment, yeah.
You've had a lot of fantastic roles so far, of course, The Office and Sherlock, and I loved Love Actually as well. But did you ever think that you'd be at the centre of something just so epic and so huge?
No, no, I didn't actively think it, but it's funny, you know, funny acting, because you end up, if you're lucky, as I've been very lucky in my career, you'd end up doing these funny little zigs and zags where, even though, of course, I didn't think 10 years ago, you know what, I'll end up playing Bilbo Baggins in a trio of films. Nothing surprising, do you know what I mean? Like, because the life takes you where it does. It's like, you know, jumping in a river, and the river is going to take you wherever it goes, and it's for you to hold on or get out. So no, although I couldn't see it coming, almost nothing about this business surprises me now.
Really? So were you nervous at all then taking on the role of Bilbo, or was it great because, you know, Peter obviously had so much confidence in you?
It was more that, really. It was more the fact that Peter was so confident in me, and he was adamant about the fact that it should be me, and before him it had been Guillermo del Toro, who was adamant about the fact that it should be me. So, you know, but all the artistic team, you know, in the writers and producers and both directors, were very pro me, you know. So and I was surprised by the extent of it. I mean, I think I'm fair casting for Bilbo. I think I'm fair, but I don't think I'm the only. But you know, it's like
I can't think of anybody else.
Can't you?
No, not at all.
I reckon between us, if we gave ourselves 10 minutes, I think we could. But
let's
no,
not.
Let's not. No, I'm glad it was me. I'm glad he thought so. But yeah, it's very flattering.
Your scene with Andy Serkis as Gollum, it's like a 9-minute play, I think you described it as before. That was one of my favourite to watch. It's just
good.
On the edge of your seat. How was that for you to film?
It was as well. What's really nice about this actually is that that is the scene that every single person has mentioned. I think there are other good scenes in it, by the way. It's a 2.5 hour film.
But it really is quite like thespians at work, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of from mine and Andy's point of view. I mean, never mind, you know, like the wider filmmaking implications of it, because we're being filmed and we're being, you know, directed and all that. And of course, there's amazing digital work. But from an actor's point of view, it's pure act. You know, it is just what we do. You know, we weren't having to green screen anything. I wasn't having to imagine anything, because even though obviously Andy isn't literally Gollum, you know, he is for all intents and purposes. When he's coming at you like that, then you know he sounds like Gollum, he moves like Gollum, he looks like Gollum. You know, so yeah, that was it was great for me. There was no tennis balls, there was no green screen, there was no kind of trying to twist your mind into thinking, well, maybe that's an orc or a warg. It was like, no, I'm in a scene with Gollum. It was perfect.
Obviously, there's just so much going on. What for you was the absolute standout moment of the filming process? Well,
that was one of them. You know, I mean, my first days on set doing that Gollum scene would be one of the memories. You know, being in the South Island of New Zealand, which is so beautiful, it's just like, you know, God has just plonked down land. It's so perfect. It's just it's wonderful.
So not getting covered in the troll snot.
I didn't like the troll snot. No. I must admit, I'm a fairly grumpy man, and
really?
and yeah, and the troll snot didn't make, you know, people would be going, oh yeah, you know, hey, yeah, I bet you love having this applied, don't you? I'll be like, no, I really don't. I really don't. So for how many weeks I was dripping in troll snot. It's a necessary evil, you know. Yes. It's a good part of the story, and I like that scene. Yeah. But actually having cold, wet slime applied to you is not. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I prefer the cave. Yeah.
And then a complete change of direction. I've just seen the trailers for The World's End.
Oh, have you?
I haven't. Have you not?
No.
So what can we expect from that then, or do you know, or do I know more than you?
No, well, I haven't seen the trailers, but the script is brilliant. It's Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg wrote the script, and Edgar is directing it. And yeah, you know, if you like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and if you like Simon and Nick Frost, then I think you'll really dig it. It's a fantastic group of people. Simon is brilliant in it. Edgar is a visionary genius, I think, as a director, and I'm just trying not to ruin it.
Oh no, Martin! Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Nice
Cannot wait for the next 2 movies.
Thank you, Dan.
Give him the contract.
Warren,
please.
We're off.
It's just the usual summary of out-of-pocket expenses, time required, remuneration, funeral arrangements, so forth.
Funeral arrangements?
Oh.
up to but not exceeding 1/14 of total profit, if any. Seems fair. Present company shall not be liable for injuries inflicted by or sustained as a consequence thereof, including but not limited to lacerations, evisceration, incineration.
Oh, aye, I'll melt the flesh off your bones in the blink of an eye.
You all right, laddie?
Yeah, feel a bit faint.
Think furnace with wings.
I need air.
Flash of light, searing pain, then
Puff! You're nothing more than a pile of ash.
Nope.